Hey you guys, it's Jen back at you with another video. This week we're talking meal prep hacks, how to make your meal prep so much easier. So in case you just want to know my weigh-in and then just skedaddle on out of here, I lost 1 pound this past week, so I'm currently at 250.9. 1 more pound and I can finally be out of the 250s, but we're not quite there. I'm just about at 20 pounds lost, so probably next week you'll be seeing a video about that. But this week I have about 10 hacks for you, or tips, that's going to help you with your next meal prep. The first tip is, if you can afford it, get pre-chopped or pre-prepped ingredients. I know it's a little bit extra, and I don't buy all of my ingredients pre-prepped either, but I definitely always have a container of pre-chopped garlic, and I recently started doing pre-chopped ginger in my fridge. That way when it comes time to add those, I can just scoop and add it in, and I don't have to worry about chopping or having that weird garlicky feeling on my fingers. I love garlic, but I don't love that feeling. My next tip is about smoothies. I love a good smoothie in the morning. I'm sure you do too, but sometimes it can be a little daunting to have to, get up and chop all your fruit in the morning and make sure you have everything that you need. It gets a little too much for me. So I'm a fan of smoothie packs, and you can either buy those in the store or you can just make them yourself ahead of time. But I find having ready-to-go smoothies already in the fridge, where all I have to do is just dump the ingredients into a blender with some water or juice or milk, saves so much time, and I'm much more likely to get my fruits in the morning as opposed to stopping somewhere on the way to where I'm going. My next tip is to chop all your produce. Anything that you're going to need for snacks or for meal prepping, get it all done at once. Just bust it out, and it will save you so much time later. Plus, you're much more likely to reach for the carrots or the celery or the bell peppers if they're just in a container ready to go. Or you can make what I call a salad bar in a fridge, and I found that off a podcast, but I love it. You just prep all of your ingredients and stick them in the fridge. That way, when you want to whip out a salad, maybe a minute tops. It's a total time saver. My next tip is kind of silly when you think about it, but it's just to don't prep what you don't like. We all know that people lose weight eating grilled chicken and broccoli, but if you don't like grilled chicken and broccoli, after the first or second meal, you're gonna ditch it for something else. So it's better to prep something that you're gonna like and then eat that maybe isn't quite as great as the chicken and broccoli, but at least this way you'll eat it instead of getting takeout on the way home. Now, some people tell me, I don't like to meal prep. I like fresh food, and by the end of the week, sometimes my produce is going bad, or my rice is weird, or whatever it is. So I have 2 tips for that one. The first would be to just meal prep twice a week. If you don't like your food after the 3rd or 4th day, maybe meal prep on Sunday and then again on Wednesday. That way you constantly have fresh food, and you constantly have something available to you in the fridge that you can just grab and heat up ready to go. The other tip is to just freeze them. So a lot of meals can be frozen in meal prep containers and then just reheated in the microwave or oven depending on the container. So maybe make all your meal preps up, freeze 3 or 4 of them, and keep the rest in the fridge. That way your produce or your rice isn't going bad, but you still have meals ready to go. Another excuse I hear a lot is, I don't have time to meal prep. I can barely keep up with my dinners as it is. Tip for you would be to just double what you're cooking. If you're cooking up a big meat sauce or a chili, it doesn't take that much more effort just to double it. So if you double what you're making, you can either freeze it to have for another meal for dinner in the future, or double what you're making for your family and then portion it out for you for the rest of the week. You're gonna save so much time, but you're still going to have a good meal prep for yourself. My next tip is to batch cook your grains. Grains such as brown rice especially, or even quinoa, can take a while to cook, and it makes it not as glamorous when you just want something to grab and go. So batch cook those bad boys, and then you have it in the fridge all week long. Just make sure, especially with rice, that you reheat it all the way. But as long as you reheat it to like steaming or boiling or whatever, you're gonna be fine, and that way you don't have to worry about that for the rest of the week. You can also get single serving frozen versions of these grains. You just pop them in the microwave and then you don't even have to worry about cooking them at all. Now personally, I'm a fan of Crockpot meals. They're super easy, especially now that I'm starting school again. I just pop them in the Crockpot before I leave in the morning, and then dinner is ready for me when I get home. It's great. So my tip for that is to pre-prep what you're gonna put in, and maybe put it in a container or a bag. And then that way you can literally just open up the bag or the container, dump it in the Crockpot, and leave. You're good to go. If you do opt to go for the Crockpot, 2 tips on that as well. The first is there's this beautiful invention called the Crockpot liner. It's just this bag that's made to fit your Crockpot, and then once you're done with your meal, you just take off the bag and there's like no cleanup. It's beautiful. Some people don't like those bags. You know, maybe you're trying to be environmentally conscious, but you made your meal and you forgot to clean it, and now there's like a bunch of hard stuff in your Crockpot. Tip for that is to fill it up with water and a little bit of soap and just put it on for about 4 hours, either on low or high, doesn't really matter. And at the end of it, you can just basically wipe out anything that was in there. So no scrubbing either way in the Crockpot. I'll take it. So for the vegetables, if you don't prep them on the first day for the rest of the week, I love frozen steamer veggies. You just take one out of the freezer, pop it in the microwave for 5 minutes, and fresh vegetables. And honestly, sometimes the fresh veggies don't have as many nutrients in them as the frozen ones do, because you think about it, they're picked, they have to be taken to the store, they sit on the shelf, and then they sit in your fridge until you eat them. All those nutrients are just slowly, you know, going away, whereas frozen vegetables, they're picked and frozen just like that, and all those nutrients are stored in there. So don't be afraid of frozen vegetables. They're a great time saver, and you still get in your vegetables. My last tip, and I promise I'm not sponsored, not affiliated with these companies, but if you have either Shipt or a Walmart pickup or any sort of like grocery delivery near you, do it. I know sometimes there's an upfront cost. Walmart, you don't have a cost unless you get it delivered, but I get my groceries delivered now through Shipt, and it is a total lifesaver. I don't have to worry about my groceries. I just scroll through my little app, pick what I want, and then it's at my doorstep 2 hours later. I don't know what I did before I found Shipt, but I don't think I'm ever going back. Totally just changed the way that I look at grocery shopping, because now I don't have to do it. And while I'm not affiliated with these, I think I can find some coupon codes for you guys. So either they'll be here or in the description or both, who knows, if I can find some for you. So definitely check that out. Let me know if you liked this video, and if you did, go ahead and leave a like down there. You can also subscribe and ring the little notification bell to let you know when I post videos. Now that I'm starting school, I'm hoping to increase from 1 video a week to 2, but we'll see how that goes. And I would just love if you followed me on my journey. I've been losing about a pound a week consistently, so I'm perfectly fine with that. I struggled with that a little bit last week, but I'm good with 1 pound a week as long as that continues. So hopefully next week I will be out of the 250s and I'll have great things to report. Remember, you can make today a great day or not. The choice is yours. Have a good one.